Welcome back to Chavano Outdoors YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the Durston X-Mid 2. So, the first and only step you need to set up this tent is just drop it on the ground. Alright, so the first step in actually setting up the tent properly is going to be obviously to take it out of the stuff sack. And then what we're going to do is just lay this out flat on the ground in a square, roughly. I like to take two of the corners and then kind of shake it to get it laid out. And then kind of situate it where the ground is the flattest. Alright, and then after you've done that, you're going to go ahead and get 4 stakes out of your pouch. I like to use the big ones for the corner so it holds it more.
The X-Mid comes with 8 stakes in this little bag. You've got these 4 super big long stakes. They're from DAC, I believe. Yeah, you can see right there, DAC aluminum stakes. So you've got 4 really nice big V stakes, and then you've got these 4 smaller ones as well. So I like to use these 4 big ones in the corners.
Alright, change of plans. I'm going to use the skinny small ones.
And when you're staking out these corners, you want to make sure that you're pulling kind of basically straight down this seam here, so that'll give it the best tension, and then stake it out like that.
Okay, so for this next side here, you can eyeball it for 90 degrees off the corner, but the times that I've tried to do that, I've not gotten the right pitch. So what I like to do, and this is from Durston.com, from Dan Durston himself, is what you do. So you're going to take both corners together, where it's taut, match them up, and then pull the fabric down, and that helps you find the center. And then all you need to do is just keep that center taut, and then from there you can make the side taut and stake it out. Then go ahead and take this other side, make that taut. Once you're done staking out all 4 corners, there's line locks on each one, so you're going to go around and go ahead and pull those tight. Or taut, whatever you want to call it. So the next step in the setup process is we're going to go ahead and unzip one of the doorways here, and then you can see we've got this grommet here with the reinforced corner, and that is where your trekking pole is going to go ahead and go up. There's only one slight problem. I forgot trekking poles, but thankfully nature always provides a solution. Sticks. So we're going to take this stick here, go ahead and measure a good height need. Go ahead and mark it right there. Now we're just going to sharpen this, not sharpen it, don't get me wrong, just kind of make it a point so it'll fit up in that grommet better. And then once I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and match it with my other stick so it's the same for both sides. We've got our stick whittled down, so we've got the proper size now. We're going to go ahead and place the tip. If you had trekking poles, it'd be the tip up in this corner here, and then just push it up into place. So I go around here to the other side, open up the door again, go ahead and stick the tip of your pole, or in my case, a stick, Go ahead and stick it up there.
This is one problem I've had with the tent so far. I don't know if the line locks are run through backwards or what is wrong with it, but they seem to like to slip when I put the poles in. So what I have to do is tension it and then just do a little half hitch knot so it won't come undone. Once you're done pulling the pole in on the second side, we're going to go ahead and zip it up. And then another tip that I learned is on the line locks that are on the zipper door here. Doesn't need to be that long. Shorten that up. You can take another stake and kind of pull it at an angle off the corner and stake it in there. So that just takes some of the stress off the zipper here. Alright, then we're going to stake this zipper out again on this other side here. And once that stake's there, that'll just help the zipper operate nice and smooth. Alright, it's a bit hotter today. Okay, so before we get into some initial first impressions of the tent, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some specs. Let me pull them up first. Alright, I had no service, so I had to walk a little bit of ways away to find service and pull up the specs. The Durston X-Mid, this is the 2-person, not the Pro version. They make a Pro version that is made out of Dyneema, and it is a single wall tent, not a double wall. So I like the double wall because it's better for cold weather, and I just think the materials will last longer than the ultralight fabric. So those are my main reasons. Well, and another huge reason is the price. I would actually consider this tent a budget tent because of how good the pricing is. So, and I did not find the price. I'll put it up on screen. I think it's $275-ish, the 2-person version. But let's get into the specs. So, to set it up, all you need is 2 trekking poles, or in my case, 2 sticks. That's also good to know. And then you just need 4 stakes on each of the 4 corners, but I like to put 2 by the door here, so that's 6. And then if it's super stormy and windy, then you're going to want some more to put on tie-outs that they've got at the tops. The outer fly just itself, because you can detach this inner piece here, weighs 20.4 ounces. The inner mesh tent itself weighs 15 ounces. Stuff sack weighs a half an ounce. So the entire tent together weighs 35.4 ounces, which is pretty good. So when you order it, you can select if you want stakes or not. I obviously decided to get the stakes. So it comes with 8 DAC stakes. There's 4 6-inch stakes and then 4 8-inch stakes. So the entire thing with the stakes is 38.4 ounces. So I was looking it up, and if you're only one person, this can fit up to a 7-foot tall person, but if you're going to be using it with 2 people, it's best if you're no more than 6'4", is what I found from the research. So materials. The materials are made out of a 20 denier sil polyester. My Big Agnes Tiger Wall is made out of sil nylon, so it is not very good in rain, which is one thing I really don't like about that tent. So this is made out of sil polyester, or sil poly as they call it. And the first week I got this, it rained for 7 days straight, and like almost without a break where we are. And I had to set up the entire week, no sagging at all, completely dry on the inside. And some of the days it was like pouring down rain, super hard wind and strong wind. So this thing stood up super well, and I didn't even have any of the extra stakeouts out either. And then last but not least, the zippers are made out of a number 3 YKK AquaGuard zipper. So this is one really unique design of the tent that I like. I've never seen a tent with actual waterproof zippers. It's usually just a standard zipper, and then it's got a flap that covers it. And that can be really annoying sometimes if you're trying to unzip it with one hand and it snags on that fabric going up and down. So let's get into some first impressions that I have about this tent. Yeah, and like I said, when I first got it, I had it set up for a week straight in rain, almost non-stop rain, and some pretty heavy wind. So I really got to see how storm-worthy it was, and it was a pretty good test. I didn't sleep in it on any of the nights. I didn't sleep in it on any of those nights, unfortunately, but I'm planning on doing that soon.
And again, just as a disclaimer, I've not used this tent on trail yet, so these are just first impressions. Once I get some more experience in it, I will do a full review video. Let's start out with the pros. Pros are this tent is super easy to set up. Again, like I said, you just need 4 stakes in the corners and then 2 trekking poles or 2 sticks like we did today. Another pro is the price. This is about half the price of other ultralight tents that are made with the same fabric, so that is a huge plus. I would even maybe lump this in with the budget category, and it's an extremely well-built tent. That's why they say it's gotten a cult following, because it's so popular with thru hikers, backpackers, even cold weather campers alike. And another pro is going to be the weight. Obviously, this is considered an ultralight tent, and again, for about half the price as other tents in this category. And because you don't need any poles with it, there's less parts of it that are likely to fail. So a few cons, just as my first impressions so far, is going to be the door flap here. I love the magnets, absolutely love that. I mean, because you can just take this, even just with one hand, I can take this and kind of bunch it up, and then that just sticks right on there with those super strong magnets. But this may just be a personal thing, and it's not that big of a deal, but I kind of wish they would have either put one loop attachment up here at the top and one at the bottom, or keep the one that they have and add 2 more, because I don't like the way that this fabric lies down. I would love for this to be all the way completely straight up the entire tent. Again, it's not a big deal. It's not going to affect the structure or anything. That's just, I guess, a pet peeve of mine, you could say. So another con about this tent, in my opinion, is the floor. Again, this is not anything to do with structure or material quality at all. It's just another thing that I like, but it's just that the tent floor is kind of loose. It could be that I've got some tall grass underneath of here, but I like to have my tent floor taut. You can see it is taut in the corner over there, but then you kind of have it loose here. I don't have that attached to the stick either, but if it was attached to the feet, it's just about like that, and then the floor is just kind of loose. So again, not the biggest of deals, but just I'd like to prefer to have a tight floor, and it's not going to affect the structural integrity at all. Another pro is that the doors are able to be zipped shut with one hand. Another thing that's cool about this tent is, and something that according to my research is not very common in trekking pole tents, is having pockets on the inner tent. So you've got 4 pockets in here. You've got one here next to each door, and then you're going to have one at the peak. This is a pretty neat pocket. It's kind of a flat pocket, what I'd call like a media pocket. You can slip your phone in there, and obviously any other things. And then if we flip over here, you've got the same exact thing, just on opposite sides. And another pro is that the vestibule space is absolutely huge. My entire 65-liter pack filled fits perfectly in there. It doesn't touch the outer wall, and it just barely leans in onto the screen here. So absolutely love the vestibule space. Another thing I like about this tent is they've got these 2 vents right off the poles here in the corner. It's got Velcro here, so if it's super stormy out, you can close that up and there's no rain it's going to get in at all, even when it is open. And then to open it, you just undo the Velcro, and then there's this little rigid pole here. I believe it's a piece of carbon fiber, and then you just Velcro that piece up there. You've got a really good sized vent. And then if it gets super stormy out, they've included guy lines and another line lock here on the peaks so that you can pull that out if it's super windy. And then they've also got loops on the wall coming down this seam here on the side, on both sides. And then also, if you have the door closed, they've got another loop there. So in total you could add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more guy out points if it was super stormy and in really bad weather. So my final thoughts on the Durston X-Mid 2-person are very good. I can't wait to get this thing out on trail. I've got a backpacking trip coming up in what is today? 2 months about. We've got a backpacking trip coming up in the Smoky Mountain National Park, so that'll be some really good conditions and a good trip to test this out on. So I can't wait to use it then, and hopefully I can get some more trips in between, some shorter trips. So from the 1 week that I had it up in my backyard when it was raining the entire week, the stormworthiness of this tent are incredible. Again, I didn't even have to use the extra guy lines that were on it, and there were some pretty good wind gusts and heavy rainfall. And the fabric didn't stretch at all, which is what seal poly is supposed to do. So that's one thing that I really love about this tent. When it was raining, we did have some driving rain, like I said, and it was completely dry on the inner, all around, and nothing got wet on the inside, and the vents were open the entire time as well. As for ease of setup, I'm pretty sure I could set this up faster than my Big Agnes Tiger Wall. Again, you've just got 4 stakes in the corners, 6 if you do the doors, and then pop up the 2 poles. And so it's super simple, which can be really handy at the end of a long day of hiking. You really just don't want to fool with setting up any shelters, so the simpler the better. Alright, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share, do all those nice things. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, stay in the wild.